Okay, so this is my presentation on Jeremy Diaz, and this is my first page, and there's pastel colored rainbow, which is not a coincidence, because he's mainly known for his charity for LGBT people. So who is Jeremy Diaz? So he's 28 years old, and he lives in Ottawa, which is where the headquarters of his charity are, and his charity is called Jer's Vision, which is an organization focused on educating youth about homophobia, transphobia, racism, and sexism. So one of the obstacles that he faced was that when he was younger, he was mercilessly bullied, and especially in high school. And then the final straw came in grade 12 when his high school totally prohibited him from founding a club at his school, a Gay Straight Alliance. So he went straight to the Ontario Human Rights Commission and he fought for his case for 5 years and eventually was rewarded with the second largest human rights settlement in Canadian history. And with the money that he got, he founded Jer's Vision. And his organization helps people and educates children and educates teenagers about the dangers of not being accepting. Anyways, he is a well known figure, and his charity is one of the most prominent in Canada for LGBT issues. So Jer's Visions is the name of his charity, but I also thought I'd include this page, which has a lot of quotes from people regarding his workshops and what they taught, what they personally meant to them. I'm not going to read them, but I thought it was a good thing to include. So the differences in communities. What difference does he make in communities? Well, he definitely educates teenagers and children about anti-bullying, and he reduces bullying basically in young people, which, as we know, is a huge problem. And there's a lot of teenage suicides, which is why this is such an important cause. And he does this by holding workshops and discussions on a variety of topics, not only on LGBT things, but also on racism and sexism and things of that nature. And the goal of the seminar is to educate people in a poignant, funny, and relatable way so that they gain more empathy and compassion for people going through rough things. Is he successful? Well, yes, he is very successful. And Jer's Vision is one of the most prominent charities in Canada. And in 2012 alone, they held workshops for over 75,000 students. And they started the International Day of Pink, which last year got 8 million participants, which can pretty much says that they're very successful. And at their fundraiser, they invited Rick Mercer, Brian Burke, and Stephen Lewis, and they're very prominent Canadians, which is also a testament to their success. And Jeremy Diaz himself was featured on Great Canadian New You on CBC, and on his website he has a list of different awards. So Jer's Vision is in fact very successful. And what have I learned? Well, I have learned what a young person can do given enough motivation and with enough headstrongness. So he went straight to the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal, and he didn't linger on the lowest rung of basically administrators who just argue with him at every turn. He went straight to the top, and he fought his way to getting what he thinks he deserved, what he thought he deserved, and it showed me what can actually be done if you are brave enough to try. And one thing I found interesting was how effective an interactive format was for educating people and as a tool for social activism. So Jer's Vision uses workshops, and it basically opens up a platform, so it's not a passive just listening to a person make a speech, which is probably not very interesting for teenagers, but it's getting them to share their experiences and getting them to open up emotionally to other people in their age range, which increases compassion, increases empathy, and decreases bullying. And you can see from how effective and how popular his charity is, how his interactive way of going about social activism is